Making babies. What is reproduction, and why is it so important? Life on our planet is a vibrant array of colour and diversity. From the tiniest insects to the largest mammals, the variety of life forms on Earth is truly astonishing. Each species, with its unique traits and behaviours, adds to the delicate beauty of our natural world. Despite these differences, there is one fundamental trait that unites all living things, and this is the need to reproduce. This universal drive to create offspring is at the heart of the life cycle of all living things, including humans. The term reproduction describes how all living things create babies or new offspring to continue their species. This process typically occurs in one of two ways: asexual reproduction, which is when a living thing creates an exact copy or clone of itself, and sexual reproduction, which is when a male and a female create a new baby by mating. While sexual reproduction is the most common method, a small number of living things reproduce asexually, meaning they only need one parent to create a new life. For example, some creatures like jellyfish can make exact copies of themselves without needing a mate. This method is beneficial for simple life forms that need to reproduce quickly. However, producing multiple exact copies can make these creatures vulnerable to diseases and changes in their environment. In contrast, sexual reproduction, or mating, is more advantageous for sophisticated life forms. The greater variation in genes helps to protect species from disease, increasing their chances of survival. In species that reproduce sexually, babies are created when a male and a female mate with each other. In this process, genes from the male and the female join together in a union that produces a new life, which is unique but also inherits traits from both parents. There are different kinds of sexual reproduction. While some species carry their babies in a womb, others lay eggs. However, all these methods require both a male and a female to reproduce. In mammals such as dogs, cats and humans, the instructions needed to create a new life are stored in special reproductive cells called gametes. The male gamete is called sperm and the female gamete is called an egg or ovum. When a male sperm joins with a female's egg, an event occurs that sparks the cell into life. This process is called fertilisation, and it typically happens inside the body of the female. This moment is an important milestone for all species, but particularly in humans, as it marks the beginning of conception. All the instructions for how the baby will look and grow, such as hair colour and eye colour, are determined by the union of these tiny cells. Half of the instructions come from the baby's mum, and the other half come from its dad, which means that traits on both sides of the family are often noticeable as a child grows and develops. After fertilisation, the developing egg implants into the thick, nourishing lining of the womb, where it will begin to grow and change. Over time, it develops first into an embryo and then, by around 9 weeks into its development, into a fetus. At this stage, the growing baby already has recognisable features, with arms, legs and a head, despite only being the size of a small apricot. Over the next several months, the baby continues to grow and develop inside the womb until, after approximately 9 months, it is ready to be born. The reason why humans and other mammals carried their babies inside a womb is because this method gives their babies the best chance of survival. While carrying a baby to term internally would be impractical for many creatures, for humans it provides the best and safest option. After all, animals that lay eggs risk them being discovered and eaten by predators, which is why animals that do this tend to lay eggs in very large quantities. It is with the creation of each new life that we continue the human life cycle and enable the continuation of our species into the future. This reminds us of our connection to all living things on our planet, and our responsibility to preserve and protect life in all its forms.